So I don't know how many of you are familiar with modern psychology in general. Like, what is the background? If you have any understanding of what modern psychology is, what psychology deals with, maybe then I can go into our understanding also. Yeah, Karunaji.
Yeah, I think I have studied a little bit of education psychology.
Oh,
So in that we start with very little basics of general psychology, but move more into the education related, the learner psychology actually. So
oh,
aspects of learning and attention, motivation, and different aspects of the personality, different kinds of personality, and all that.
um, yeah. Um, so, are many of the attendees familiar with those concepts? Um,
Not
Uh,
everyone, I would
Not
guess.
everyone. Yeah. Very few of them are familiar with psychology. I
okay,
think two or three of them. Most of them are quite new to this.
okay, all right. So, probably that makes it easier. Uh, so, what psychology is about is understanding who we are, what drives us, what drives our behavior, why we behave the way we do, and um, if we have any uh, if we are facing a uh, problem of what we call as distress, some concern that is bothering us, how that has to be addressed. So basically, if we look at normal modern psychology, it is the term psychology. It is the study of psyche. Psyche originally means soul. It came from a Christian background, actually. Soul is what the body, other than the body. So the study of the body is medicine. The study of everything other than the body is psychology. That's the typical split. Now, but actually, what happens is in modern psychology, they use the word psyche, soul, but their understanding of soul is whatever we feel as not the body. Like they have a concept called the mind. That's a very vague concept. What is mind? Anything other than the body is mind. And then they will try to understand what people. And there are three aspects to psychology they study. Affect means feeling. Second is behavior. Third is cognition. ABC, affect, AFFECT, behavior and cognition. These are the three aspects they study. How do we cognize things? How do we understand things? How do we feel about things and how do we behave, how do we react to the world. Okay, study of these three aspects, it comes under psychology. And the equivalent word in the Bharatiya system is actually study of the self, Atma Vidya. In our terminology, we have very, very precise understanding of what we are made of at a very granular detail. The entire Bharatiya or Vedic system is all about that only. So if you take like psychology, if you take the original name of psychology, then what lies on the other side, the Indian side, is the entire system. The whole thing is like the ocean. All the Indian system comes under psychology that way, actually. But that's too big. Like study of what Atma means. But our people say Atma and the universe are one and the same. Study of Atma means study of the universe. That is like boiling the ocean. So, but actually, what the Westerners mean by psychology is not that very, very big thing. They only talk about, if you look at, if you don't take the word literally, if you actually go by what they actually study, that is only about how I, as a human being, react to the world, not what the world is, but how I react to it. To give you a simple example of what is the scope of psychology versus something else. Suppose I am suffering from fever. The study of psychology aspect of it is how miserable I feel when I get fever, not what causes fever, what is the mechanism of fever. That is all medicine. How I feel when I get fever, that is psychology. So, for in the equivalent in the system of our thing, Ayurveda is about um, what wellness means, what causes me to go out of wellness, the mechanics of the system, and how to bring it back to the state of wellness. But Atma Vidya is not how to fix the fever, but how to fix the way I feel about fever. That is the difference. So, in maybe I'm thinking how, okay. So, what we have looked at is understanding, defining what is the scope of or the subject matter of psychology. We define the subject matter of psychology to be the study of human experience, anubhava. Anubhava is different from what causes the anubhava. The external impacts, whatever the surroundings that in which we are immersed. The study of the universe is out of scope of psychology. The study of how I react to the world. How about now? 1 second.
Yes, sir. Now I think.
Now you're audible. Now you're audible, Sarlaji.
Okay. Okay. So basically, we define psychology as the study of human experience. Anubhuti Tantram. Tantram in Sanskrit means technology or the procedure or the method. The science and technology of manipulating, understanding and manipulating human experience is psychology. So, because if you don't define the scope of what you want to study, then you will be going all over the place. So the first step in any Shastra, any Bharatiya way of scientific thinking is asking 4 questions. What is the Vishaya? What is the subject matter of this discipline? What is the phalam? What is the prayojana? Why you are studying this subject? And who is the intended beneficiary? Who is the adhikari for which this subject is being discussed? Adhikari, who is the recipient and who is the audience of this? And then the sambandha. What is the connection between how you are going to connect whatever you're talking about? How do you lead the people from where they are to how do you achieve the prayojana? That is sambandha. So unless these 4 are clearly demarcated, you haven't started the study. It's not a science. So for psychology, the Vishaya, the subject matter, is anubhuti, human experience. The prayojana is dukkha nivrutti, removal of distress, an enhancement of delight. Why do you want to study human experience? What is the end result of studying human experience? To give the highest aspired for experience, which is according to the Vedic system. Please let me know if I'm not audible.
You're audible, Sarlaji.
Yeah. So the according to the Vedic system, the only purpose of existence is Ananda. Even the Purusharthas, you must have heard about the 4 Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Even the 4, what is a Purushartha? Purushartha means that which the Purusha seeks. What the Purusha means, all of us. That which the person or a human Atma seeks is called Purushartha. According to our system, we seek only 4 things. And what are they? Dharma, that's a big word. Artha means resources. Kama, fulfillment of desire, what we seek. And moksha. Moksha means liberation from limitation, any limitation. The ultimate limitation is not, I am not the universe. If I become the universe, that is the ultimate mukti. But even a small overcoming of, let's say, suppose I am unable to ride a bicycle. If I learn how to ride a bicycle, I achieved a micro mukti. I have liberated myself from the ignorance of riding a bicycle. Even that is moksha, but a micro moksha. So, but our people have said, why do you want to go through all these dharma, artha, kama, and moksha? There is a paramapurushartha, the ultimate seeking of everything is infinite delight, unperturbed, illimitable, unobstructed delight. Under all circumstances, at all places, at all times, there is absolute ecstasy, joy. Anything that is preventing that is a problem. Everything that is so the phalam, the prayojana of studying anubhuti is, and in English, the closest word that comes is delight. So we say the Vishaya is human experience, the Prayojana is delight, the Adhikari is whoever wants delight and wants to avoid the opposite, which is distress, dukkham, or unhappiness, or whatever. So that person is the adhikari of this shastra called Anubhuti Shastra. So, what the principles, who we are, what we are made of, all that is the details. So that's how we have narrowed down or define the contours, outline of what we want to study. Now, so I want to share one slide deck just for easy conversation. Um, um, of course, I cannot go over the whole thing. I'll just give a quick overview of what this. Um, there are several ways in which people have approached them. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So, but people were asking what we are made of. Okay, there are many, many theories. Some people say we are memory machines. You are, your behavior is determined by what you got exposed to in the past. And why do you do any action? We are driven by the pleasure. That's one theory. And there are many, many people who are some variants of it. Another theory says we are desire machines. We are driven by desire. Why we have desire, they don't ask. They will say we are desire machines. There is another theory that says we are driven by a sense of purpose. What the purpose means, that's up to you to define. But you define something, I want to do this, I want to become this, and your life is driven by that. So the root cause of all problems can be analyzed by first understanding what you are running after, and then go from there. That's their approach to psychology. There is a new machine, a new approach called we are cognitive machines. Neuroscience. Neuroscience is all about brain receiving some impressions from the outside world and reacting to it. And how the brain reacts to the outside world is hardwired in some chemicals. So all incoming perceptions trigger some chemicals, and based on how the chemicals, what chemicals get triggered, that's how. So feeling is nothing but emanation of some chemicals. And you can make a person feel in a certain way by triggering the same chemicals. And that's like one approach. And etc. etc. Now, what is our Vedic perspective? We are driven by the urge to manifest delight. But what the main fundamental postulate is, delight is not something we have to acquire. Delight is our normal nature. And the more and more we seek delight outside, the more and more depressed we feel. And the solution to all problems is to unlearn or remember. It's all about remembering your true state and not get, what is happening is we are under the illusion. It's like I have a huge treasure in my house, but I keep on crying, I don't have a penny. What is the solution? The solution is just realizing that you have a huge treasure right in your backyard. No amount of searching for treasure outside will help. That is our, in a nutshell, our approach. So the innate, the delight is what I feel when I am not seeking anything, when I am in a state of rest, whatever I feel, that is delight. The moment I am seeking something, I assume that whatever I am seeking is not part of me. I am trying to acquire something. That feeling of I don't have this, whatever that this is. That feeling of I don't have this is what our people call as dukkham. That's our understanding. Anyway, there's a lot of detail about that. Now, so what are the questions any theory has to answer? Any theory of anything, any science, has to answer and to do three things. It should explain why that anything, any subject, any phenomenon is the way it is. Why the way things are the way they are. Second, what will happen if things change in this way? It should be able to predict. Third, it should be able to give an idea what should be done to make a given change. Okay, so explain, predict, and control. These are the three things that any theory or any model must be able to do. In the case of psychology, explain why a certain experience happens. Predict how will my experience be in this situation. Control, how do I enhance my experience under a given condition? What should I do, etc. So these are the three things that a psychological theory should be able to explain. Should be able to make you do. If a theory cannot do this, that theory is useless. Okay, so now I've just talked about this. I told basically this is the summary of how we have defined the scope of psychology. Now, um, now what is the if of course we have to address the what modern psychology studies affect behavior and cognition. What does affect mean? What does feeling mean? In our understanding, basically, union with some as some object. If suppose I want to eat a laddu, laddu exists. I don't have that with me, and it completes me. Without it, I am incomplete. What that experience of incompleteness when a incompleteness or lack of union with the object of desire, that is what I call as my anubhuti, the experience. Affect is the perception of my distance to the object I desire. That is affect. Cognition, what is cognition? My understanding of what that object is. If I don't even know what laddu means, why would I seek it? I don't. So cognition leads to affect. And what is behavior? Behavior is whatever I act and that affects my environment. That is behavior. So basically, this is the summary of Vedic psychology. Delight is my innate nature. I am infinite. But by definition, I am infinite. But I restrict myself to some small subset of what I am. Why? So that I can experience the fun of recovering, coming back to what I was. So it's like a hide and seek game. Why do you play a game? Suppose you are playing the game of limping. Why do people deliberately jump on one leg to catch others? if they already have both legs working, why do they deliberately try to reduce the number of legs to one and try to catch others? That gives them joy. There's no point. I have both legs, why should I limp? If you can catch others even with one leg, that is more joyous than catching with both legs. So, why we form, why we are born in the universe is to experience how we get back. You start with a limitation and play the game and experience how do I get back to my original. One, I'm able to do so many things even with this limitation. That is one joy. The second joy is recovering my original stature. So it's the entire world, according to the Vedic system, is a huge playground. Lokavat to Leela Kaivalyam. Leela, the word Leela means play. Why are we born? For the play. The play of hide and seek. And what is dukkham? What is sorrow? The sorrow is the restriction of delight imposed by limitation. So I am infinite. I limit myself to a small subset of what I am originally. And then I forget that I am limited myself. Then I feel I'm constricted. That feeling of constriction is what is defined as sorrow or distress, whatever. And so, what Vedic psychology or any psychology, Vedic approach to psychology is identify where are the constrictions and how do you overcome those limitations. So, what are the techniques to remove the limitations? And this game will end when I become infinite. That until then you keep on running. Infinite delight can only come when I am unlimited. Because the very reason for sorrow is limitation. So, what type of interventions are possible? So, diagnosis is identifying where the delight is being restricted, where an intervention is how to remove the restriction. Okay, so that is like a quick summary of the Vedic approach to psychology. I know this may sound too theoretical. It may not match our real world experience, but that's what why we are not experiencing it is a big thing. And the devil is in the details. Okay, now, okay, I don't want to go through this. I will quickly show you one picture. And because going through all this will take time, I don't want to do that. 1 second. I will just show one picture and that's it. Yes. So this is the Vedic X-ray of a human being. What a human being is, not the human being, any being. It can be a stone, it can be a dog, it can be a cow, it can be a human being, it can even be a devata. Every damn thing that you can ever think of that exists, the Vedic system says this is its architecture. I hope you understand the word architecture. So, who am I? That is the fundamental question. At one extreme, I am the universe. At the other extreme, I am this physical body called, whose name was given as Sai Susarla. This body. But there are many, many layers of me in this, between these two extremes. I am the universe on the one hand, and I am also experiencing, I'm also a small conglomeration of atoms which is floating around in space and which has been given a name called Sai Susana. So, but I am not only the body called Sai Susana, I am also a thriving and surviving individual. Surviving means what? Suppose you keep a tomato on the table. What will happen to it? After some time, it will disintegrate. It will become soil. Why? It is constantly interacting with the surrounding air. The air around it is slowly reacting and oxidizing the tomato. It will become rotten, it will disintegrate, all the water will go away. Eventually, it will become manure. But the same tomato, when it is connected to the tree, why is it not getting rotten? Something inside is constantly fighting. Inside the tomato is constantly fighting with nature and repairing the molecules that got disintegrated and replacing them with new molecules, new cells, and keeping the shape of the tomato intact. that that other aspect, which is keeping the tomato intact and not letting it merge with the environment. That is called the pranamaya kosha. That is the second layer, the thriving individual, self-stabilizing and continuing separate existence. While the environment is constantly attacking it, the aspect of me that is preventing and keeping myself, my body intact and active and growing, that is the pranamaya kosha, the second level. The third level, again, I'm not only the bunch of molecules called the body, I'm also the force that keeps those molecules together and keeps on replenishing them and repairing them and adding new material and maintaining it. That is, I'm also the pranamaya kosha. No, that's not in me alone. That's not enough. I am also something that wants to grow not through one body, but through many bodies. Like, I want to grow through my family. I want to become many. Uh, I feel the pleasure and pain not only of my body, but the body of my child, my wife, my son, my parents, my relatives, those whom I love as if they are me. So I am existing through them also. So my sense of who I am includes them. So that has two aspects. Grow the community which I feel as my own and whose pain and pleasure I feel as my own is also me. So I'm growing not only in my physical body, but also through my community. The next level, not only my community, but whatever idea I cherish as my own, my perception of truth, that also is me. I am a communist. I am an Islamist. I am a wokist. I am a capitalist. Whatever I consider as an idea that is out there to conquer and grow, and I feel a part of that. My existence is, I am an embodiment of an idea. That idea self is the buddhi. The community self is the manas. Not only this, there is one more thing. My understanding of I am not only some cherished ideas or opinions, but also a cosmic principle of which I consider as an embodiment of truth like dharma, compassion, love, delight, um, all those in liberty, equality, brotherhood, any universal concepts that I consider as um, I cherish and I um, um, feel oneness with. That also is me. I am living not only as a body, not only as a thriving body, not only as a family or community, not only as a bunch of opinions, but also as a cosmic principle that is keeping the world intact and driving it. I am also that. And then beyond that, I am the entire universe with both dharma and adharma. That is my universal Virat Rupam. Virat means all encompassing. That is Narayana. That is whatever you call as Brahma, whatever, the big one. Okay. So I am all at the same time. But why am I not feeling, why am I not experiencing the bigger things? Because I am so preoccupied with my small uh, self that I'm ignoring the urges and awareness of my larger self. It is just a matter of not forgetting, but getting preoccupied. I'm preoccupied so much with my body and its maintenance that I don't care about others. So, all lack of delight is because of this preoccupation, according to the Vedic understanding. So, but depending on what I think I am, the level of delight also keeps changing. If I am the body, I am happy if I exist. Okay. My only preoccupation is how to keep the body intact. That's all, nothing more. But if I am not only that, what is the next joy? Whenever I win, whenever I acquire something, whenever I get a recognition or praise, I feel happy. Why? It gives me a sense of expansion of my power. I am not only interested in surviving, but I want to expand my influence on the world. Every expansion of power gives me joy. That is the second level of joy. The third level of joy is not only I want to expand, I want my community to expand. If any person in my community achieve something, I feel as if it's my own achievement. Empowering others, making others happy makes me happy. That also is there. We may not recognize it in our normal experience, but that also exists. And we don't have to tell you. How do you feel when your brother gets first rank in some competition? You feel good. That means your Manomaya Sharira is getting delight. So, and the next level is all intellectual pursuits. The goal of all intellectual pursuits is a logical coherence. And we think anything that is logically makes sense is true. Anything that is not making sense is false. And the joy of knowledge, the joy of solving a puzzle is Buddhigata Ananda. And the joy of joy of seeing Dharma win. Why do we want to watch a movie where the hero always triumphs over the villain? There is something in us which rejoices when Dharma wins. And we don't have to teach, we don't have to give any moral lessons. Oh, you should love Dharma. Nothing like that. Everybody, even suppose there's a Gunda. Gunda goes and watches a movie. And the hero is bashing a Gunda in the movie. Will the Gunda who is watching that movie, will he feel bad or will he feel good? The Gunda feels good. Yes, the hero is bashing the villain. Even though he is doing the same bad things outside, when he watches the movie, he feels good that the hero is winning. Why? Because his Vijnanamaya Kosha is getting the joy of harmony, the joy of winning, and the triumph of harmony. So every one of us has that already built in. It's just a matter of awakening. So, so this gives a quick overview of the Vedic approach to understanding human personality. Human personality, according to the Vedic system, has at least 5 layers, 5 nested personality. And they are not different compartments, but subsets of each other. That's why this picture is very important. It gives you that the higher koshas are encompassing the lower koshas. So when a body is active, all the higher koshas are also simultaneously, subliminally supporting the body. That's why the body becomes intelligent. So that's what the picturization of nested circles is to illustrate that dependence. And why do I exist? For joy. And the way there are so many types of joy that I experience. I may be preoccupied too much with the lower two layers, the ego, and the body. But the other aspects also exist. The goal of psychology is to awaken and give the chance of delight, show the path to delight, and identify the problems which is preventing the delight from coming out. That's and I want to stop here. And if you have any, let's open for discussion. I hope you are able to hear properly.
Yes, you were
Yes,
able.
we were. So lots of I mean, we still need to understand quite a lot of things here, because as you said, combinations of this may manifest at different times. So I still don't. I mean, I'm I, I'm incapable of understanding if there is any problem in the chakras. Is it due to the what I am, or is it because of the feeling of joy, or is it the basic problem, or is it the problem in the chakras that manifest in the different other areas? Like in the koshas, is it the problem in the koshas that manifest as problem in the chakras, or is it the problem in the chakras that actually radiate its effect on different other things? And what are the different combinations that come out of this, and does this have any effect on the psyche of a person?
Yeah. See, all problems can be uh, uh, boiled down to lack of awareness. Okay. And lack of awareness being what is awareness? Being alert and conscious of something. If I'm preoccupied with something, I am not aware of what's happening elsewhere. And wherever I am uh, um, attentive, my energy goes there. So
Hmm.
I am a bundle of energy. Where the energy is active, the energy is active wherever I put my attention to.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so all the chakras are junction points between the realms of what I am. So
Okay.
if I'm unaware of something, I'm not putting energy to it. Okay, if I am not putting energy to that kosha, that chakra becomes depleted. So if I'm depleted,
Hmm.
so what ultimately everything is about is lack of awareness, leading to lack of energy, leading to lack of um, 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 joy.
Hmm.
Okay, so chakras are junction points between the layers of me.
Hmm.
All the energy flows. As I told you, I am a bundle of infinite energy, but operating through a particular body. If I am preoccupied with the body, then I may be using lot more energy than required. And so it is not the chakra that causes problems. It is the other way around. The problem manifests in a chakra. The root cause is
Hmm.
where I am directing the energy through my awareness.
Okay. And I also have a question. Like, I feel joy in empowering others, I feel joy in coherence. I don't think most of the society thinks beyond winning. I mean, nowadays, especially in today's world, uh, it is only thriving of the individual and winning is what matters more to people than thinking about empowering others and coherence and harmony and everything. So,
Yes,
does that also manifest on the chakras and the personality of the person, and does it restrict his growth also?
very much, very much. Um, as you rightly said, the egoistic person is highly active in the lower two koshas, and all the energy is getting diverted to the Swadhisthana and Muladhara. The others are there, but they are only bare survival. That's all.
I think Manaswini has raised her hand.
Yeah.
Namaste, sir. Thank you. The session was very informative. I just had a question. So we spoke about modern psychology and how and also drawing parallels to Vedic psychology as something that tries to address our reactions to experiences, our manipulation of experiences, etc. And as you mentioned previously, this is at a level of a certain amount of abstraction. What I'm wondering is, in modern psychology, there is a parallel in medicine through psychiatry that tries to address all of these this malfunction by addressing neurochemical imbalances and so on. Is there any parallel that Vedic psychology has to addressing perhaps certain physiological imbalances that cause the same?
Yes. So first you need to understand what is the Vedic position on neuroscience.
Yes.
So see, there is something called correlation versus causation. If if A if A is proportional to B, if A is increased, B also increases. Does it mean that A causes B? Or does it mean B causes A? suppose when I feel happy, some chemical X gets excreted from the brain. Does it mean that my happiness caused the chemical or the chemical caused my happiness? Vedic system says it is the happiness that caused the chemical. Just injecting the chemical will not make you happy.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, the chemical gets excreted by the glands when you feel happy. That doesn't mean that the chemical is the cause of your happiness,
Hmm.
the effect of your happiness.
Okay, so if we are happy because of a certain X situation or person, and what you're trying to say is that brings us back to our essence, to our normal state of being in delight, and that causes physiological changes.
Yes,
All right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
not the other way around.
Yeah. Thank you.
Valdishi.
Yeah. Um, Essentially, you're saying lack of awareness is the primary cause, avidya or adhyasa. Adhyasa,
Yes,
I consider my body as myself, or etc. That is the cause for um,
yes,
uh, all the sorrow, sadness that I
yes,
experience.
yes,
So, is there, but when we uh, that we can perceive in the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha very easily, but at the, let's say, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the cause for Vikruti I know is the same thing. But is there a literature, is there a specific way this kind of transforms the Vikruti can be there's a karya karana sambandha that we can, a chain that we can see how the Vijnanamaya Kosha gets imbalanced because of this.
yeah, activated.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of activation.
Mm.
So the way you activate it's not that I'm unaware of Vijnanamaya urges. They're all there with me, but they're lying dormant.
Mm.
All I have to do to activate them is expose myself to activities which awaken that delight. The moment that I get awakened to that delight and that layer, that kosha becomes active. How do I awaken Vijnanamaya? By watching. That is the whole point of Natya Shastra.
Mm.
By Rasanubhava, by
Mm.
watching dance, music, stories, which remind me of the higher joy. But the more I am awakened, the whole purpose of art is to awaken my Vijnanamaya Kosha and make me experience the joy so much that my preoccupation with the lower level things, which are trivial, they become so trivial that I don't pay much attention to them. That is the whole point of all art.
So that is the, other than sadhana, these are the methods of bringing in symptomatic and long-term relief
Yes,
to an individual.
yes. So all your educational research institute is doing is awakening the Buddhigata Kosha. You are awakening the joy of discovery, the joy of theory making, all that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I have a follow up question. Like, my doubt is, in case we come across a particular behavior of a person, can we map it to the levels here mentioned? Is there any such mapping that is readily available, or is it in the process? By looking at a person's behavior in a particular situation, can we say which of his koshas are active, or which of his chakras have a problem, or which of his the feeling and what he thinks about himself? Is there any such mapping that is available to understand behaviors?
Yes, there is such a mapping, and we are actually right now coming up with a diagnostic approach to pinpoint the kosha at which a person is experiencing delight or distress. And
Okay.
that is not by only questionnaire, but by going to um, the person's past experience to
Okay.
pinpoint exactly what the issue is.
Okay, and there's a
But
treatment process also that you say, that is diagnosis and treatment.
yes, both, both. I will show you one slide which
Okay.
summarizes the how the treatment, the Vedic way of treatment happens. Um, After I take some questions.
Okay.
So I also have a follow-up question. You spoke a lot about what ignites or sparks each of these koshas, and um we began by saying that a, a depressive situation or depression, for instance, occurs when everything when the external expectation is not met. So once again, in each of these layers, if that event or situation that sparks this um, particular attribute is not met, then how can it be cultivated within?
Yes. Okay, I think the same. I will show you one slide which gives an idea of that approach. One second. Um, ah, so basically, what we're talking about is dukkha is contraction of a kosha.
Hmm.
Okay, that I've already explained. What are the possible reasons for such a contraction? We've identified three things. It can be caused by external violence, someone else putting force on us to against our will or whatever. The second one is my perception is of something is not what it is. I consider my partner as bad. Maybe he did not mean that, but I say, no, 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 he deliberately did this to me.
Yeah.
That is an example of false or limited perception. The third reason is incapacity, the inability to do something, the inability to perceive something, the inability or to act in some way. Okay.
Right.
So incapacity comes in three types. The lack of will, the lack of knowledge, or the lack of power. Icha, Jnana, Kriya. These are the three Shaktis, three capacities. If I am lacking in any one of them, my ability to when the contraction can happen. Now the question is, how do I fix this? There are only three possible ways. Either you remove the obstruction that is preventing the denial directly, that's directly handling the problem at a given quotient. That is overcome. Suppose you cannot do that, then you give it an alternate source of delight and the same kosha. That is diversion. The third one is give delight not at that kosha, but a higher kosha. Okay. And then the joy of higher kosha is much more intense than the joy of lower koshas. So you transcend. For some people, transcending is not possible. For them, they can either overcome or divert.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I'm only talking about the methodology of intervention. What actually the intervention can vary a lot. Everything is possible. Counseling, yoga, tantra, japa, um, like training. So many things can be done, but they all fall into one of the three buckets.
Sure.
All right. So thank you.
Yeah. Of course, it's a very detailed topic, but okay. All right, Ram Kumarji.
Sir, listen, thank you for your very interesting presentation. Sir, I want to understand, can we define the attributes of happiness and joy? Can we say that, for example, whatever is related to the body, which is the source of happiness, and whatever is beyond the body, can I say that is the source of joy?
See, and these are just two words. You can give them whatever connotation you want. There is only one thing called joy. Okay. The joy is experienced differently at different layers. Bodily joy and ego level joy, community level joy, intellectual joy, all are joy only. So, what was your question?
No, I was trying to differentiate, sir, is that normally we use the two terms, happiness and joy. So I was trying to see that,
Oh,
trying to relate happiness to more materialistic things and the joy is more of non-materialistic. That was
Sure, if you define it that way,
okay. Yeah.
then no problem. Happiness equals bodily joy.
Sure.
Sure,
Thank you.
it depends on how you define it. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So,
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have one last question. Sorry to interrupt in between. I just wanted to know there is Rajasa, Tamasa, and Satvika gunas that you had told us in the previous discussions. Is there any particular like Satvika guna is always said to be very sober and others. So is it always recommended to move towards Satvika guna in all the aspects of life, that is in different actually, Jamala Madaka ji, when he had visited, he had told us that a combination of Satvika, Rajasa, and Tamasa with the different koshas give different personalities. So, is it necessary that we think about moving everybody towards Satvika Guna for different koshas, or is it not possible at all? Because
No.
what is ideal? So, I just because in the Western education system, we always say that there is an objective and everybody moves towards that aim. So what is the aim here? That do we create different personalities, or is it only one Sattvic personality that we are moving towards?
No, actually, see, the way if you don't see this is where the confusion comes. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are three possible motives for any action. And in the universe, all the three are active. I will give you an example. Suppose if the bhumi on which you are sitting is not tamasic, you cannot sit. If it is not maintaining its current state of stability, you cannot do anything. So tamas means maintaining the status quo. Rajas means the urge to expand, and sattva means the urge to serve, the urge to serve a higher cause and becoming an instrument of the higher cause. What approach you employ depends on the situation. If everybody in a company is, suppose there is absolutely nobody who is tamasic, the company will disintegrate very quickly because there is no stability in the rules, in the like if tomorrow the cook says, I'm not interested in cooking, what will happen to your lunch? The ability of the entire company to have its lunch depends on the cook having continued focus on his. So there is nothing called better guna or lower guna. They are all equally important for the running of the universe.
Okay.
You employ them appropriately based on the requirement.
Okay.
So when they say Shiva is tamas,
Hmm.
Shiva himself stands for tamas. What does it mean? Shiva is lower level? No. He has
State.
accepted tamasic state
Okay.
so that the universe can continue functioning.
The
Okay.
example of the cook, if the cook says, I will, my role here is to make sure that everybody is healthy. Now,
Yes,
So that,
that's a sattvic idea rather than saying I will keep doing the same thing every day, day after day, as a
yes,
tamasic approach.
yes. So, but at some level, he has to remain stable.
okay.
Now, and so if the cook's concept of activity is to keep everybody happy, as long as he stays there, everybody will be happy. But if his focus is on only one thing, I will only make bendy curry every day. Okay,
Yes. Got it.
that is tamasic, which can hurt others. So sattvic, yes, you need a sattvic cook who can listen to instructions and not question them and follow the instruction. So suppose the cook says, I don't want to, no, I will cook only this menu for every day. So that might be a problem. If you have a sattvic cook, he will be at least adaptive. But he has to remain tamasic at some level.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in some behaviors, tamas is good. In some behaviors, sattvic is. So that way, and rajas is to keep moving. I mean, improving or changing.
Yeah. At
Okay.
what kosha you are tamasic
Okay.
makes a difference.
Okay.
One second. Sada,
Thank you.
sada, charger.
I think we've extended the time a lot.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what was proposed, I don't know how, I don't want to also inconvenience you.
I'm
There's so
sorry.
much, there's so much more interesting than just trying to conclude everything now. So we should also plan for detailed discussions on this kind of Q&A on this in detail. In
Yeah.
addition to some more fundamental knowledge which we can access either through videos or documents. I've shared the document that you've already sent, but
Okay.
I think we will go through it again.
Yes. How this all applies to education
Yes,
is another topic to discuss.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice to speak with you.
No, the pleasure is ours. I think that it is bringing in a very fresh perspective to what we have been thinking of, with also expanding our view of what psychology is and how it can be applied in the context of education. I think there's
Yes.
a lot to do.
A lot to understand also.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful presentation. I think it has stirred our minds to think beyond what we have been taught and what we have been learning since I think, since our graduation days. So with this, I think we'll start thinking something new, and anything else before the workshop that will be happening on 7th, 8th, and 9th. Any other material that you said you'll be sharing a video with us, which of 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So,
Yes. Manish has just forwarded one document.
oh, okay. I'll just check with Valish, sir.
Yeah, that has all the video.
Okay. Thank you so much for this
Okay.
opportunity. I think Valish sir will thank you on behalf of Prayoga.
I think it's a very, as I said, it's opening up our thoughts. It's opening up new paths of thinking, which is what is essential, and the more fundamental view is what we will all get and acquire over a period of time. While interacting with you and learning from you. Thanks for this, and we will continue our discussions on this thing. This thread as well on psychology as well going forward.
Yeah.
Thanks, and thanks to everyone who's joined on a Sunday evening.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy Navaratri to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.